Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. We are here in Madrid, the capital of Spain and also one of the most touristic cities here in Europe. We are going to start the video in front of the palace that is here behind me with this spectacular view over the cities and its surrounding mountains, and we can see that there's a lot of beautiful green space around Madrid. Actually, I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. We are going to start our tour here in front of the Royal Palace, and the challenge is that we only have 6 hours here in Madrid. So the challenge is to see as much as possible. We are going to do a full walking tour through this whole video and see as many places as possible. Obviously in 6 hours the time is very limited and we won't be able to see everything, but I'm hoping that we will get to know the most important spots here of the city of Madrid. So let's not waste any time and let's start this tour. We are now at the Plaza Mayor here in Madrid, or the main square of the city. It is also in the heart of the city center and it is one of the biggest squares here of the center. Here behind me you can see a building that is known as the oldest building of this square, and it is known as the Casa de la Panadería. That is because when it was first built there was apparently a bakery down there in that building, but due to the high risk of fire they had to take away the bakery and they started to measure and weigh things down there in that building. One of the things that you can actually try here at the Plaza Mayor is one of those bocadillos de calamares, which is a sandwich made with squid. And that is very typical here for Madrid, and you will definitely find them in one of the locals here in one of the restaurants that are here at the Plaza Mayor. We just entered a very beautiful market that is super crowded and full of people, and here you can find lots of tapas actually. It smells absolutely delicious. Well, at this place I feel like you can probably find all kinds of tapas that you may be looking for. It is completely full of food stands. You could probably easily spend all day long here eating. There is everything. There are sandwiches, there are tortillas, paella, there's some wine and drinks that you can get here behind me. There is dessert, I even saw some chocolate, I saw cake, sausages, cheese. They have absolutely everything here, I think. And there are so many people here, sitting here, having their foods, enjoying some time here. Unfortunately, I already ate, so I'm not going to eat more, but I think this place is recommendable. I think everybody is probably going to find something here that you'd like. So this market where we've just been at is called San Miguel, and really this is recommendable because there are so many types of food. One thing I think that you should definitely try, because there are some of my favorites, are the croquetas here in Spain. There are various types. It's made with potato basically, and then there are different kinds of filling. There can be like ham and cheese, for example. There can be fish. There can be meat, chicken, whatever. So there are different kinds, and I recommend those because they are absolutely delicious. And then, of course, there's something very typical that is churros. We found them in there as well. That would also be super recommendable. Make sure to come here hungry, seriously. There are so many things, and the best thing about tapas is that you can always have one small portion of various things, and you can just, try everything basically. And we are at another square. This is the Puerta del Sol. And it is a semi-circular square here in the center of Madrid. And it is the starting point of various wide streets or various major streets here in the city center of Madrid. And it is also not far away from the Plaza Mayor where we've just been before. And we can also see various statues. For example, here behind me on this side, there is the statue of Carlos III, which used to be one of the kings of Spain. Here at the Puerta del Sol, we can also find this statue here behind me of the Bear of Madrid. And there's a history behind that. They say that once the city was founded, there were actually lots of bears here in the surroundings of the city. And that was why it became an important symbol for the city of Madrid. But there's also another legend that says that King Alfonso XI caught a bear when he was hunting. Obviously, he felt super proud about that. And when they reconquered the city from the Muslims, they included the bear as a symbol of the city. We We are now walking along the historical city center of Madrid. You can see here behind me, for example, there are lots of restaurants here in this area and a lot of very cute and beautiful streets, lots of things to discover besides the restaurants. And also there's no traffic here, or almost no traffic here. There are some streets in the area, of course, but in general it is super calm here and therefore really nice and enjoyable to walk here through the streets, get lost a little bit and discover the area. Besides all of these cute streets, you will find here a lot of places where you can actually watch flamenco shows, and of course also a lot of souvenir shops and bars, restaurants. There are more than enough options for you to eat here in this area. And also I really like how beautifully decorated everything here is. Not only that the streets are super cute, but look at that here behind me. You can see that a lot of places are actually beautifully decorated with flowers and stuff. That's super cute. Here behind me you can now see the Puerta de Alcalá. This is located at the Plaza de Independencia here in Madrid in the center and right in front of the entrance of the most famous park here of the city, which is the park Retiro. And this one here is the main entrance, but there are various throughout the city around the park. Let's now take a little walk inside of the park Retiro to see what we can find in there. There are actually a lot of restaurants and bars in there, so this is the perfect place for lunchtime or midday or in the afternoon to have either a break from your city stroll or to have some lunch, some food here. The biggest park of the city and there's always a lot of people, especially when it's getting warmer in spring. There are lots of people on the grass soaking in the sun and so on. And in this park you can take huge walks. Seriously, the park is large and you can do a very long walk through the different gardens, which are, by the way, very beautiful. But you can also do a small boat tour here. Be prepared, this is not easy. You gotta need some strength in your back actually to do this, but it looks super fun and it is a beautiful site and one of the most emblematic sites here in Madrid. I think Madrid is clearly the place of many squares. You will find a lot of beautiful squares with sculptures here in the city. And here, for example, behind me, we now have the Plaza de Cibeles. Cibeles is the statue that you can see there in the center. She is known as the goddess of the earth and the fertility, and she was the mother of the Olympic gods. And at this square, actually, Real Madrid always celebrates its triumphs. So whenever they win either the Champions League or the league here in Spain, they come here and celebrate. We are now walking down the Gran Via, which is a very long and quite popular street here in Madrid in the center of the city. There are lots of luxury brands, there are lots of hotels here, lots of restaurants and bars, and it kind of feels a little bit like the Broadway in New York because it is like one of the main streets. There's also some theaters here on the street. It is a little bit similar to that, and beautiful buildings in this area. We are at the Plaza de Espana, which exists in probably almost every big city here in Spain. And here you can actually see the two highest buildings of Madrid. These two skyscrapers here behind me are quite famous views if you are looking for photos or videos here of Madrid. And also we have on the other side the monument of Cervantes, who was a Spanish writer, and he became famous for his work of Don Quixote. In general, this is a very beautiful square and there are also lots of restaurants here in the surroundings. I would say it is definitely worth to visit it. It is at one of the endings of the street Gran Via. This here is the Temple of Debod. It is quite a famous place and it is also a perfect viewpoint for the sunset. Unfortunately, we won't be here anymore for the sunset, but trust me, I've seen it before and it is absolutely stunning. This temple was a gift that has been brought to Spain in order to save it from being flooded in Egypt. The Egyptian government gifted this temple that actually dates back to the 2nd century BC to Spain to save it from being flooded, and also as a sign of gratefulness for the support of building a dam in Egypt. You can even enter the temple, or you can just take a walk here in the surrounding park, which is also a very beautiful area and also perfect to take some rest and soak in some sun. Just a little behind the Temple of Debod, you will find this beautiful viewpoint with a stunning view over the city of Madrid. We can even see the palace that is there behind me from up here where we've been before. So this is a really nice viewpoint and sunset viewpoint if you have the time. Now with this beautiful view over the city of Madrid, it is time to say goodbye to Madrid, because for me it is already time to return to Barcelona. As mentioned before, I only had a very short time here in Madrid. In my opinion, Madrid is always worth a visit, no matter how little time you have here in the city, because the most historical parts or the most touristic parts are all in the center and all in walking distance. So even if you only have a few hours, you can always get out in the city center, probably at the central station Atocha, and from there you can walk everywhere. I did all of this here just by walking through the city. We saw quite a lot, I think, and we got a good impression of the city. So I really enjoyed this walking tour, and I hope you did as well, and I hope you feel motivated now to also visit Madrid, even though you may only have a very limited amount of time. Now this was it for today's video, but we are going on further adventures in the future, so make sure to subscribe to my channel, leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this little tour through Madrid, and I will hopefully see you next Friday.